There is a gland in your brain right now that is turning to stone. Not metaphorically, literally calcifying, hardening into a calcium shell that silences one of the most powerful biological instruments your body possesses. And the terrifying part? By the time most men hit their mid-40s, it's already halfway gone. You've felt it. The sleep that doesn't restore you anymore. The brain fog that lingers past noon. That quiet sense that something vital has been dimmed, like a signal you used to receive clearly is now buried in static. That's not aging. That's not stress. That is your pineal gland going dark. And today, you're going to learn exactly how to turn it back on. Here's what's actually happening inside your skull. Your pineal gland is a rice grain-sized structure buried deep in the center of your brain. It sits alone, outside the blood-brain barrier, which means it is fully exposed to everything you consume, breathe, and absorb. And modern life is poisoning it. Fluoride, found in municipal tap water across North America, accumulates in the pineal gland at concentrations higher than in any other tissue in the body. Researchers have confirmed this. The gland absorbs it like a magnet and converts it into calcium fluoride crystals that coat the tissue and strangle its function. Then add processed seed oils, refined sugar, and artificial blue light from every screen you stare at after dark. Each one disrupts the gland's photosensitive cells. Each one accelerates the calcification process that is quietly dismantling your biology. By age 40, studies suggest over 40% of adults show measurable calcification. By 50, that number climbs past 70%. This is not a fringe theory. This is visible on MRI scans. It shows up as a bright white spot in the center of the brain. A gland that should be soft and active, hardened into near stone. The result is catastrophic in ways most doctors never connect to its source. Melatonin production collapses. Your circadian rhythm fractures. Deep sleep, the kind that repairs your DNA, clears your neurons, and resets your hormonal cascade, becomes inaccessible. Your body stops recovering the way it once did. Cognitive sharpness fades. Reaction time slows. The intuitive clarity you had in your 30s, that gut-level knowing, goes quiet. And biological aging accelerates. Because without sufficient melatonin, your cells lose one of their most potent antioxidant shields. Inflammation rises. Cellular repair slows. You age faster, from the inside out. This is the hidden epidemic no one is naming. But here's what nobody tells you. Every ancient civilization on Earth knew this gland existed, and built entire spiritual architectures around protecting it. The Egyptians called it the Eye of Horus. Look closely at that symbol. The stylized eye with its descending teardrop marking. When you overlay it on a cross-section of the human brain, the anatomical structures align with uncanny precision. The thalamus, the corpus callosum, the pineal gland, mapped inside a symbol carved into stone thousands of years ago. The Hindu tradition named it the Ajna chakra, the third eye center, located precisely at the geometric midpoint of the skull, where the pineal gland resides. It was considered the seat of higher perception, the instrument through which inner vision and outer reality could be reconciled. The Taoists called it the upper dantian, the upper field of vital energy, and devoted entire lineages of practice to keeping this center clear, activated, and luminous. René Descartes, the 17th century philosopher, called the pineal gland the seat of the soul. He wasn't being poetic. He genuinely believed this single structure mediated the connection between mind and body. These traditions didn't converge on the same gland by accident. They were recording direct experiential knowledge, passed down through centuries of disciplined practice. Knowledge that modern civilization dismantled quietly, replacing inner cultivation with pharmaceutical management and processed convenience. The ancients weren't primitive. They were paying attention to things we stopped looking at. Now let's talk about what modern neuroscience has confirmed. because the science is more extraordinary than most people realize. The pineal gland is the brain's primary melatonin factory. When darkness falls, it should flood your system with melatonin, orchestrating sleep depth, immune regulation, cellular repair, and antioxidant defense. But it also synthesizes serotonin, the precursor molecule to melatonin, making it central to your mood, cognition, and sense of well-being during waking hours. Here's where it gets profound. The pineal gland contains piezoelectric microcrystals, calcite crystals that generate electrical charge in response to pressure and electromagnetic fields. Researchers believe these crystals may function as biological antennas, sensitive to subtle environmental frequencies. When the gland is healthy, this system operates with extraordinary sensitivity. When it calcifies, those crystals are buried, and the signal goes dead. Dr. Rick Strassman's landmark research at the University of New Mexico proposed that the pineal gland may synthesize dimethyltryptamine, DMT, a molecule present in hundreds of plant species and found endogenously in mammals. His work, published in peer-reviewed literature, raised the possibility that the pineal gland mediates peak states of consciousness, deep meditation, near-death experiences, and what ancient traditions called direct perception of reality. This is not confirmed, but the biochemical pathway is plausible. The enzyme systems are present. The substrate exists. The ancients described transcendent inner experiences as something that could be accessed through disciplined practice. Modern biochemistry is beginning to ask whether they were activating a specific glandular mechanism, one that calcification has now locked shut for most of the modern world. The science and the mysticism are converging. Right here, in the center of your brain. So what do you actually do about it? First, the practice. Shambhavi Mudra is one of the oldest techniques in the yogic tradition. It is referenced in texts over 1,000 years old and involves directing your gaze upward toward the eyebrow center, the precise anatomical location of the pineal gland, while maintaining rhythmic breath control. Here is the method. Sit upright with your spine erect. Close your eyes softly. Begin a slow 4-count inhale through the nose. At the top of the inhale, gently direct your eyes upward and inward, as if looking toward the center of your forehead from inside your skull. Hold that internal gaze for a 2-count breath retention. Exhale slowly for 6 counts, releasing the eye position. Repeat this for 10 cycles each morning, before you expose your eyes to any artificial light. The upward eye position activates the superior cervical ganglion, the nerve cluster that directly stimulates pineal activity. This is not speculation. This is established anatomy. Practice this for 30 days consistently. What begins as a subtle shift will become unmistakable. Second, the protocol. Remove fluoride from your water immediately. Invest in a reverse osmosis filter or switch to glass-bottled spring water. This single change stops the primary calcification source. Then, begin the decalcification stack. Raw cacao, 1 tablespoon daily, morning. It contains theobromine and magnesium, both shown to assist in breaking down calcium deposits and improving cerebral blood flow. Add it to water, coffee, or consume it plain. Turmeric, half a teaspoon with black pepper and a fat source, every day. Curcumin crosses the blood-brain barrier and has demonstrated neuroprotective and anti-calcification effects in peer-reviewed research. The black pepper amplifies absorption by nearly 2,000%. Chlorella, 1 teaspoon of powder or 4 tablets daily with water. This freshwater algae is among the most effective known chelators of heavy metals and fluoride compounds from deep tissue. Apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon in 8 ounces of water each morning before food. Its malic acid content has historically been associated with dissolving calcium formations and alkalizing intracellular environments. Run this protocol for 90 days. The gland does not heal overnight, but it responds. Imagine waking 90 days from now and feeling something different in the quality of your sleep. Not just longer, deeper. The kind of sleep that leaves you genuinely restored, with a mental clarity you had forgotten was possible. Dreams become more vivid. The gap between sleeping and waking softens. Then the subtler shifts begin. Your intuitive read on people, situations, and decisions sharpens. Decisions that used to feel murky resolve with unexpected clarity. There is a quality of presence, a quiet aliveness that returns to your daily experience. Your biology begins to repair at the rate it was always designed to. Inflammation markers fall. Hormonal rhythms stabilize. The accelerated aging that modern life imposed begins to slow. And beneath all of it, something harder to name but unmistakable once it returns. A sense of coherence, of connection to something larger than your daily schedule and your running list of problems. The ancients called it awakening. The neuroscientists are beginning to call it optimal brain function. Perhaps they are describing the same territory from opposite shores. Your pineal gland was not designed to go dark. It was designed to illuminate. The path back begins with a single breath, directed inward. If this knowledge belongs in your hands, and in the hands of every man who needs it, share this, subscribe, and come back. There is more to reveal. The Codex is